great time. I'm so excited.
Awesome. I think everyone is admitted from the waiting room. Welcome to this amazing call. I'm so excited to be moderating this call with two incredible people, including Miss Universe, over here that we have here, and also the Period at Bihar chapter that's led by Ranu Singh. So super excited. We're going to do introductions in a second, but before we get to it, I would love if everybody in the chat, Zoom chat, can share where they're calling in from and maybe what time it is there, because I know we have people calling in from India, from the US, different time zones all across the world. So if you want to take a moment to share in the chat, where are you located? Where are you calling in from? If you have access to the chat, I can start. Colorado, oh my gosh.
6 a.m.
7 a.m. Wow. New York, 8 a.m. Connecticut, nice Regan, 8 a.m. Bihar, 5:38 p.m. Wow, look at that difference. Time zones. Oregon, 5 a.m. Wow. 5:37 p.m. Wow. Awesome. Wow. So it's exciting to see that we have people from different states in the US and India. Yeah, so excited to everyone. From Lucknow. Yeah, so let's get started. My name is Anusha Singh, and I'm the National Campaign Lead at Period. Our organization works to eradicate period poverty and stigma through 3 basic pillars, which include service, education, and advocacy. I got involved through starting a chapter with Amir, who's on the call, 4 years ago now in college at The Ohio State University to advocate for the repeal of the Ohio tampon tax, if you've heard about that issue. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here with you all now. Next slide. So as a brief agenda for today's call, we will be discussing menstrual equity activism in India with special guests, Harnaaz, Sandhu, and Ranu Singh. We will start off by doing some introductions about both Harnaaz and Ranu and their amazing work to combat this issue. We will also discuss the state of period poverty and stigma in India. And then also there will be a little bit of a panel Q&A with Harnaaz and Ranu about some of their personal experiences and menstrual equity activism in India. And at the end, we will have some time for audience Q&A. And hopefully you brought a red marker with you, because I know at the end, Ranu is leading us in a cool red dot challenge to help spread awareness about this cause. And I'm super excited about that. So yeah, so let's kick it off. Awesome. So this is the amazing Harnaaz Sandhu, Miss Universe. She is an incredible person. I'm so excited to have her on this call with us. So Harnaaz Kaur Sandhu was crowned Miss Universe at the 70th Miss Universe competition, live from Eilat, Israel, in December 2021, at the age of 21, bringing the crown back to India for the first time in 20 years. She draws her inspiration from her mother, who broke generations of patriarchy to become a successful gynecologist and lead her family. Driven to support other women the same way, Harnaaz grew up working with her mother at health camps, addressing women's health and menstrual hygiene. In March 2022, Harnaaz helped to launch a coalition for menstrual equity in her home country, India, a partnership group that is dedicated to increasing access to safe menstrual care in India and all around the world by increasing awareness of and access to low-cost, sustainable, and proven solutions that will improve the lives of women, girls, and their families. This initiative will reach 5 million women and girls in 200 locations throughout India by 2025 and create a platform for impact globally. Deeply conscious of the privilege her mother's struggles have gifted her, Harnaaz today is a strong advocate for women's empowerment, particularly their constitutional rights to education, careers, and their freedom of choice. Professionally, Harnaaz is an actor with 2 Punjabi films slated for release in 2022 and hopes to break stereotypes that the world has for women. Her favorite actor is Priyanka Chopra, and she draws inspiration from her body of work. In her spare time, Harnaaz enjoys the company of her friends, loves yoga, dancing, cooking, horse riding, and playing chess. She is a water baby and never misses a chance to jump into a pool to rejuvenate herself. She believes in the saying, great things happen to those who don't stop believing, trying, learning, and being grateful. Please welcome Miss Harnaaz Sandhu, and yeah, I'll let her introduce herself as well. And before we do that, this is a short video of Harnaaz using her platform to spread awareness about menstrual equity.
Can you guys hear? Sorry about that. Can you hear?
Hey.
Do you hear the sound from that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. Here we go. We'll do this, and then Harnaaz, we can't wait to have you introduce yourself as well. Thank you, Nisha.
The meaning of menstrual equity in the simplest way possible. It means to have affordable, accessible, and safe feminine products and to educate young women about their reproductive health.
It is okay to menstruate. It is normal. It is a part of our body and we should be grateful because that makes us stronger every month we bleed. That's incredible. You will make them feel comfortable. You will educate them about menstrual hygiene. And together, we will be the change makers to change this beautiful world by breaking all the stigmas and stereotypes together.
And now that I have the global platform and such wonderful audience watching and listening, I stand before you and with you to say, we as women menstruate every month and it is normal part of being a female. Let me mind my period. The meaning of
All right, thank you. Harnaaz, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Period.org, for having me here to talk about one of the great chapters of Bihar. And it's such a pleasure to talk about something which is really close to my heart and to all of you at the same time. And really, really excited to learn after this call and to share my personal experience and to learn from Ranu itself. I think I've always mentioned coming from a country, India, which is highly known for its diversity, and how women leaders have been so incredibly inspiring all around the world. But at the same time, there are women from the same country, which shares a different part of the country, who still struggle with food and their feminine products, who still struggle with hiding their pads and talking about that openly within their family, who are separated, especially during those 7 days of them menstruating, which is a natural process, from their own home, from their own kitchen, from their own worshipping the way they want to worship, and they can't do a lot of things which are just normal. So I think I'm just so happy to talk more about that and to break stigmas, because we live in 21st century and now it is the time to normalize the term menstruation, and this is what we are doing. So thank you so much again for having me here, and I can't wait for this.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you you were so excited to have you here with us. Amir, if you could go to the next slide.
Oh, it's me, but now my computer's frozen. Y'all, the technology is doing great. It's not going.
You're totally fine. Yeah.
Give me 1 second. But we can have Radu. That's so weird. Okay, we'll clear this up really quick. Sorry about that. But Ranu, you can introduce yourself as well so we can jump right in and then we'll get a picture of you up soon.
First time, so much happy and blessed to be here. It's just like a dream to talk to Miss Universe and this great community, which is I have joined. That is period moment.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. So I am 25-year old, and I am currently involving in many kind of social works, and definitely one of the best is the period movement, which I am currently working with. So yeah, that is most common thing, and I'm trying something to bring the change and the, as Miss Universe said, what is happening in India, especially when you talk about rural spaces, slum, and people who belongs to low poverty. So they still don't have too much access to products and knowledge. So yes, definitely we must have to bring the right opportunity, right products and knowledge to those people. And yes, that's why we are here for. And I'm looking forward we can make some impact. Thank you.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and share this quick video. It's a 1-minute short video about the team. All right. Thank you. Anusha, you want to lead us through?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for showing that glimpse of the amazing work that the Period at Bihar chapter is doing. Next, we're going to turn it over to Ranu, and I know you have a member of your team, Ranu. You were interested in giving an overview about period poverty in India. So yeah, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah. As a display already in India, only 1 out of 2 girls have knowledge about menstruation before their first period. So early stage of period is the age when they must get educated about period and at least have right knowledge. So they have good experience about period, because still more than 70% of female having bad period experience for the first time. They got scared, or maybe some kind of bad thing coming into their mind, what is happening, what is this, because they don't familiar with what is period and why it's happened. So yeah, that's very important to teach teenage girl before they are getting their period, so they can have good experience. Also the right knowledge is important, and how they maintain hygiene and all. It's and yes, one more thing is 1 out of 2 girls. Mothers are the most important source of information about menstruation. This is exactly true, because in recent campaigns we have done in school, we asked all the students, and mostly they answer they got through either their mom or female teacher in school. So yeah, it's a still big taboo that they don't get information with father or brother or even male teachers. So yeah, it should be a normal topic, and they can get right information come out through anywhere. It can be if from father, brother, or even commonly through their community or society. Can we move to next?
Awesome.
So
Ranu,
there's,
oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, this number are still, and this is just maybe not true that number can be high in exact what happening in ground level, because when we visit a school, especially government school, we really disappointed with the management of hygiene management, washroom, toilet accessibility. It's really suck, and it's made us feel that we have to work too much on the ground level, because those numbers are just on paper. What we have shown that only 34% of girl school in India have functioning toilet. So imagine a place where you spend most of your time during your school time, 4 to 6 hours, and you don't have a clean washroom, clean toilet. So it's really horrible for female to manage their period menstrual cycle during school time, and that's why most of girls drop out their school during period. I guess 1 out of 3 uh, girl drop out their school during period. They don't go to school because they don't have access to menstrual product, hygiene washroom, and a comfortable place. So yeah, it must be considered and addressed as an important topic. I think it's on this page.
Awesome. Do you want to discuss anything else on this, Ranu, about this resource?
Yeah, it's as we can see, only 2.5% of schoolgirl in South Asia knew about menstrual blood comes from uterus. Yeah, that's yes one of the most thing, because still many of female don't know about the differences where they from pee and where they menstruate from, and the education is one of the key which can make the difference. And yeah, because we are even connected through digitally, so digital media and internet became a huge difference making in every sector, so it must be considered for education as well. So in television, ads should be more educational and right information, because as we see most of period sanitary pads ad, but they don't contain too much information about menstruation. It's just so an ad of a sanitary pad, not too much about what is menstruation, why we use sanitary pad, and how to dispose. Even you cannot see most of brands, so how to dispose sanitary pad, because it's a serious topic, because every year millions of ton of trash become from sanitary pad, and no brands taking too much serious how to manage that, and it must be the important issue. And female and all menstruator must be aware how to manage those stuff, how to dispose once they use sanitary pad, how to wrap and drop in a closed dustbin and all. It's an important topic. So can we move to next? Okay.
Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to add here, Ranu?
Oh, I can.
Oh.
I already.
Yeah.
But yes, one more thing I want to discuss, that still many of people use homemade cloth pad, which is not hygienic and good quality. Even many of people across India use newspaper, especially when they travel. I have personally seen in train that girl use newspaper, and I asked once I was traveling, so I suggested her, you can buy on a station or anything, I can buy for you, but she was in hurry, and there is a newspaper which she used. So it's really horrible that we don't have access and train, and especially when people travel, it's become more hard to manage their period. Also, in many places, people put grasses or something like that. So it's not hygienic or a good way to manage period. So education is very, very important, I guess. let's move on.
Thank you for shining light on all of this, Ranu, about the lack of menstrual health education and, the implications of that issue, what that causes. And also about period poverty. Yeah, so thank you so much for, shining light on this topic. And I'm so excited to transition over to the panel discussion with Harnaaz and Ranu and learn more about their personal stories and what motivates them to do this work. So let's get started, everyone. To kick it off, let's see. Do we still want to share a screen, or do you think we can? Yeah, this is awesome. This sounds great. Now we can the full view of everyone's faces. But yeah, to kick it off, I would love to start off by asking Harnaaz, why is addressing period poverty and stigma so important to you on a personal level?
I think it started the time I was born. If I take it long back to the story of from the last 22 years of my life, I think when a girl is born, they have so many stigmas around the time she is born, even before she has her consciousness or even before she realizes what she wants to do in her life. And that's where it all starts. But personally, I'm so grateful and I feel blessed that I was having such a comfortable company within my family. My brother, my father, my mom being a gynecologist made sure that they always were comfortable and approachable whenever I had questions regarding it. I won't lie, when I had my first period, I was very uncomfortable and I wasn't sure about what exactly happened. But I still had an idea because even before I had my first period, my mom, as a doctor, she taught me the meaning of menstruation, menstrual health, feminine products, and everything. So just imagine a situation like a girl who has been brought up by a gynecologist, who is her best friend, who is her mother. She was still uncomfortable to talk about her periods during those first times, or the couple of years, or maybe first months. And I was just thinking about the fact that I'm so blessed that I have the access to bypass, have the access to educate myself and to know more about it. But there are so many young girls and women out there who don't have the access, who don't have any sisters, mothers, or any companions who can teach them about periods. And my mom ignited that fire in me when I was growing up, and I saw how she has been so powerful, and she always she would have always been there to support women and to teach them about women's health. And I always wanted to do something like her. So eventually that's why I ended up being here, because I wanted a platform which supports women of all colors, all sizes, and respects women's health and their rights. And that's what made me come here. And I'm so grateful that through this opportunity, I'm getting to connect with you, that's just how we can reach more and more young girls and boys and all around the world, people who can support us.
That is amazing. And I'm so glad, and speaking on behalf of all of us, that you chose menstrual equity as your platform, because by shining light on this overlooked issue, it's helping so many people, breaking down the period stigma. So yeah, thank you so much. And I want to ask Ranu as well, where does your passion for period poverty and addressing these issues and stigma come from, especially as a somebody who doesn't menstruate? You're a man, but you're very passionate, and you've clearly created a huge impact in your community, along with your amazing chapter on this call with us. Where does that passion come from?
Yeah, obviously, one thing which is commonly people ask me, that you are a boy and you don't menstruate, so how you come through this campaign and why you are doing so. So one of the major reason which I gone through is the lack of education. I done my education at good school, even it was government school, but the education was really good. But we never gone through any stage of education about what to say, like anything related to menstruation or a period, or even about common biological facts about women. We don't get too much. During my high school, when I was in 9, once I asked my ma'am to give a brief discussion about reproduction chapter, because they just skip this chapter. So I request 2-3 times, and one day she come in class and start discussing and just give us brief about the XY factor, and that's all. It was just 10 to 15 minute class, and whole class, half class of people are laughing, and then it just break down. And I don't know why, but yes, it's happened. So the lack of education is one of the reason I found it relatable. And when I come to college, I came to city, Patna, where I create a community, connected with people, educated people. Even my professor ma'am, they all are too good to educate us and give knowledge. So I get through many things, and I done my psychology. Sorry, I done my bachelor in psychology. So there was some chapter included the female bodies, women's body, mental health, physical health. So it contains some part of menstruation also. So when I asked my ma'am to brief me, and then later I research on internet and everywhere, then I see lots of people are already doing movement on menstruation, period drives and all. So it comes my mind, why don't I start something? So when I was in 2017, I was in first part of BA. So I start giving sanitary pad to my female friends in my class, or sometime I go to give them on hostel, because uh, they don't come out too much out of hostel. So they really appreciate me. And in the starting, it was a little bit also shy for me to bring sanitary pad and all, but with time I get comfortable with. And later during lockdown, it was a great time for me, because most of my female friends stuck in hostel. They don't get out usually because it's lockdown, and maintaining their menstrual health was big challenge, because they have to collect lots of sanitary pad, lots of disposable bag, and also there are 2-3 girls nearby my where I am living in Patna. So on Sunday or any day, I just go and drop packs of sanitary pad for them. So it was great, but I don't see that much difference. I started talking about their experience. So they are privileged families, okay, but still they lack of education, accessibility. So I start thinking about the people who are living in slum, our mates, and people I see on the streets. So I think why not? I think about it, and then I started that why don't I should do something for those people. And then period movement was one life-changing moment for me. I joined last year on October, when it was period action day. So I just found on internet that they are running a campaign on 9th of October, and I just sent them a mail about that, and apply for organizing a campaign in my city. And just next day I got approval for, and it was 13th of September. So I have just around 10 days to manage everything, including funds, location, packaging, people. And I'm so glad that we manage everything to done within 10 days. And we have distributed more than 300 sanitary pads. Actually, it was a period essential kit, which includes sanitary pad, disposable bag, a letter of information, also a sweet candy, because female like to eat candies or chocolate during their period. That's common. So it was a great experience for me. Two of people here are already there, one Mansi and Srishti. They're my friend, and I'm so blessed. People like they support me and make things possible. It's around 6-7 months, and I'm so proud. We have helped around 2,000 girls in a government school slums who actually belongs to poverty. We gave them pads, right knowledge. We conduct workshop in their school. We give session. Even we do in their community, because still many of girls don't go to school. They are out of school because they have to work with their families or somewhere at the noon. So they skip the school sometime. So we go to a community where lots of family live around roadside or a slum or anywhere, even under some breezes in Patna. That's common. So we go there, we distribute pad, we give session, and especially we give right knowledge to their mother, because their mothers are also not that much educated. They use low quality of cloth pads. So we give right knowledge. And one big thing I want to mention, that now our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji is actually came with a great idea, and now is offering sanitary pad just for 10 rupees on a Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Kendra, which is a medical shop that is organized by government, and it is opening everywhere, I guess. There are lots in Patna. So you can find lots of pad just on 10 rupees for 10 pad. That is regular size. And if you go for XL, it was around 12 rupees, which is very, very affordable. Even a low people like low category who belongs to slum or low poverty, they can afford it easily. And we actually educate them about that. You can get through. If you don't find medical shop, you can just contact us and we will drop it to your home. Even when we go to schools, lots of principal demand us that why not you give us some pads, packs of pads, and we will pay for you, because the shop is not everywhere. It is some specific place, so it's not accessible for everyone. So we do so. We brought from the shop and we will deliver to the school or slum or any community. Even someone in need, we pay for that. So it's a great thing. And I'm so proud that we are making a difference.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Ranu. To make sure we get through all the questions, if we could keep the responses to about like 2 minutes, just because I know that the chapter members might have questions as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat option for Zoom, so that we know to get through them. And yeah, but thank you so much for sharing your story, Ranu. That is very compelling, and yeah, seeing what motivated you to start your chapter. My next question is for Harnaaz. So I know you mentioned that, growing up, in your family, you were comfortable talking about periods, but what really led you to learning about how prevalent the period stigma was? I'm, curious to learn about how did you learn that this was an issue?
Well, when I was in between my teenage and I was learning about myself, and comfortable in my own lifestyle. When I used to go to health camps with my mom, and when I used to go to her hospital and see how things are done, that's where I realized, and I think this all started when I was maybe 14, 15 years old. And that's where I realized that, okay, there are so many stigmas, there are so many issues, problems regarding women's body, women's health, and that leads to automatically to their rights itself. And that's where I kind of felt a little disturbed. And personally also, as mentioned by Ranu, that there are some times when we are studying in our schools and this chapter comes on in class 10th, everyone starts laughing. Everyone wants to skip the whole textbook. Everyone wants to skip that chapter because they think it is funny. It is something that girls should be unsure about. They should not talk about it. And especially during schools, I have seen my friends, even myself, getting so uncomfortable during our period days because we were always worried about the stains. And I think I learned from my batchmates, I learned from my mom, I learned from the camps that I used to go to, that this is a real problem and it is growing as I am growing as well. So as I grew, I matured and I actually learned more about this. And that's where I realized that this is not only an issue within my community, within my state, within my city, or within my country. This is a global problem and it is affecting so many girls, especially the girls who are studying and they miss their 7 days, and that leads to sometimes missing their whole year and missing the opportunities that they aim for. And I think no girl should stop studying or should stop educating or dreaming about what they want to do just because they menstruate and it's normal. So that's why.
Mic drop. Yes.
And I'm also wearing the bracelet.
Oh my God. The period
That's
bracelet.
beautiful. I love this one.
Right. Oh my gosh. Thanks for wearing that. Yes. Oh my God. No, seriously, thank you like for advocating on behalf of your patient, your mom's patients and students, your friends, and so many people who are affected by the period stigma. And like you mentioned, it wasn't until later in my life that I realized, wow, like it's not just the period stigma has so many implications. It leads to girls dropping out of school, like you mentioned, and it's not just about not talking about this issue, but what are the effects of that? And it has so many devastating implications. And so yeah, thanks so much for shedding light to that aspect of it. So Ranu or somebody from your chapter would I wanted to ask if somebody from your chapter would be interested in talking about any of the recent projects you've led to combat either period stigma or menstrual education in your community. Would a chapter member, I don't want to call someone's name, but would you be willing to unmute and talk about any projects you've led to help address this? Feel free. And if not, Ranu, you could also go ahead. But I'm going to give the opportunity.
Nancy or can go for.
Okay.
Nancy, can you please share?
Hello and Sat Shri Akal. So I would like to actually start from the first day when I met Ranu and we planned for a period campaign. I was very fortunate enough to join with him and did a campaign. Lastly, I saw that they were going to schools, they were educating the small girls, the teenage girls of course. As a girl, I have also faced several problems, several awareness things which our schools have never taught. In a way, like in my school, there was a rule that if a girl is menstruating, then they are not allowed to be in the sick room. If she is having a severe pain in the stomach, then they are not allowed to go to sick room. They are just said to sit in the classroom, and because they used to think that it is a natural thing, and if it is being every month, then you should be dealing with it. So I was in that kind of school. But later on, when things got good, I got to know about many things from my friends. My mother was very supportive. She is very supportive. And she used to tell me about these things. And the good thing that when I got my first period, my whole family celebrated it. And that's the joy that when you are bleeding, it does not mean that you have to be in a taboo. You don't need to sit on the bed. You don't need to touch anything. So coming back to the campaign, we actually organized a small campaign. We managed to pack. Sorry, I'm actually overwhelmed to have you on this platform. So, we actually made a sanitary kit, which was included, as Ranu said earlier, that which included of a sweet, a lottie choco pie, some pads. Because see, we are taking a step, but the resources are very restricted right now also, and we really need some helping hands. So it's really a generous request from my side that if this meeting is being conducted, then we need to take steps all together. And Ranu is doing a great job in this. And like, thank you to everyone for this thing. So period poverty, like many things have been said earlier that 1 out of 10 women are menstruating and they don't know about what's happening. They are using rag clothes. Sometimes like in inaccessible to many hygienic things. I have seen in many villages that they are using the same old rag clothes. As a textile designer, I really want that they should actually know that what is good for your health. Vagina is a very intimate space, and you have to keep it as clean as our face. We used to apply every makeup item on our face, used to swipe it up, but we are not taking care of vagina. So we need to educate them that you should be using right things for your menstruating. And thank you again. So I'm closing this right.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Mansi. That was so, I think that was a really important, you've made so many important points, but that point that especially resonated with me, that there are parts of the country where, you know, periods are celebrated and it's something to be celebrated. And so it's important to not generalize that everyone's experience with period stigma is the same, you know, and I think that's incredible that, you know, in your family it was celebrated, but, you know, learning that, you know, that's not common for everybody, and advocating on behalf of those where maybe periods were seen as something shameful. And so I think that is incredible on your part. And yeah, I'm so impressed with the work of your chapter. And speaking of your chapter's work, Ranu, I'm curious, what, you know, do you have any upcoming opportunities or things that your chapter is working on currently for the future? You know, any, donations or anything that you're working on?
Yeah, sure. I would like to mention some previous work as well as what we are planning for futures. So recently we have done our session in a nursing college, which is at IGIMS college. So it was a great experience for us to go to a nursing college, because many of people consider that in nursing college already have all the knowledges and we don't have to educate anything. But when we went then there, we see there lots of girls who are not actually aware of all the products, not all kind of knowledge. So we don't should assume too much that if they belongs to privileged family, they have everything, or if anyone belongs to poverty, they don't have it. It belongs to people how they consume their information, knowledge, education. And yeah, right now the digital media is one of the great source we can get through. And also there are lots of community like us who are making a difference. So it was a great experience to doing campaign in nursing college for the first time. Earlier we are doing lots of campaigns in government school, which is primary school or high school, even a few which are high school like +2. But it's a great experience for me, because going to high school, their modes of girl belongs to poverty level. They don't have too much financial help. So it's really hard to manage their sanitary pad expense and knowledge and all. So we encourage them how they can figure out that, because as I said, the government pad is very cheap and it's good in quality. Even a few members from our community already use that pad and give great feedback that it's cheap, but it's good in quality. So yeah, it's good for them to get in a low price. Even we can support if we are capable, but obviously we are not in that great stage, but we are trying our best. Since we started our project back in October, we have distributed more than 5,000 sanitary pads. So it's a huge number, because I never imagined that we come this stage, because when I started in October, it was very tough, and we raised some fund from our close friend, even Nancy and all. They have distributed, donated. I get personally, and almost half of the amount we have raised through our community. Some I personally use my Amazon Pay Later account. I brought some pad from that and I pay later, 2 months later. So it's a grateful help for me from Amazon also. So we managed to buy lots of pad, and then we pack all the stuff and distribute it on public space. There are there was lots of college girl, school girl student, and it was I think one of the first event which was happening on the street. So public was very amazed to see something on period is happening openly. People are talking about it, showing posters, and it great experience when people come to us and ask what you guys are doing actually. So we give them brief. There is a period movement who are working on period poverty and distributing sanitary pads and all the products. So we're taking a step for Bihar and Patna because we belongs to here, and unfortunately Bihar is the lowest stage in the accessibility of period products. I guess like less than 60% of female in rural area, only 60% having access to sanitary pad. So it's not a good number. We have to reach more than 90 or above 90 because many of the states having that number. So yeah, it should be common for everywhere, no matter where they belongs to. Every people, every menstruator have to have the right to access menstrual product, no matter what country, what religion, what caste or anything. Those are different things. The rights are equal, I guess. So yeah, and for our upcoming plan, we are actually planning 2-3 campaigns in colleges, but May and June are usually examination season. So many of the school and colleges having exams right now. So we are on hold. We are actually communicating with 2-3 college, 2-3 women's college in Patna, also some government schools. And yes, we are planning a big campaign in slum area. Actually, we are most of event we have done in great places or cities only. We are not able to go to villages out of Patna because we are not that much capable of to manage our travel expense and all those stuff for outside. But we are planning something this time to at least go to some nearby villages, which is close to Patna, like 100 kilometer or 50 kilometer. So we are planning something in next 1-2 months, and we will go there and bring some team members, and we do a great campaign for those people. So they also have those right knowledge and pads and all. So it will be definitely a great chance for us to reach out to more people who are actually suffering right now from the accessibility and all. Also for on October 9th, we are completing 1 year. So it will be our first anniversary. So yeah, thank you. So we are planning something big for that day. Although we have not something right now, we not too much plan, but we will definitely do something big on that day. We will distribute lots of product and lots of knowledge. Definitely hope we will manage to get those. Thank you.
Awesome. You made a lot of good points, Ranu. Thank you so much for talking about, the projects you have going on and your future projects. And also, I really love the point you made about how from state to state, it varies so much, the prevalence of period poverty. And that's why it's so important that, you're really, the work you're doing in your local community also to, push this movement forward and make it, equal regardless of, somebody's background or what state they live in. How much access they have to period products. So thank you so much for talking about that. Next, I would love to transition. So, while we're waiting, if you have a red marker near you, or if you want to grab one, but I know Ranu was going to lead us in this awesome red dot challenge to help spread awareness about it. So, while, if you want to take a, grab a red marker.
Can we take some question? I guess there is.
Yes,
there are
and then before we get to that though, I just want to give people time in case they didn't have a red marker. Yeah,
please everyone bring a marker.
Yes, before everyone. So I want to give everyone a chance to, but before we do the challenge, I wanted to open it up to audience questions. It looks like we have a lot of amazing questions here in the chat. Rohana asked the first one, so I'm going to start with her. Rohana, do you want to unmute and ask your question? It's actually a pretty small group.
Yeah, sure.
Introduce yourself.
Sorry, it's really early and my voice is kind of. It's so nice to meet you, but can you share your like experience with like your first period? Like some people were saying, like personally me, my period was also celebrated for the first time, and it was kind of crazy because like I actually got my first period like in India, like on the way back. So it was so crazy. And I was just wondering if you could share your experience with your first period.
Sure, absolutely. I think my mom was really happy at the same time. I think it's just so it's another stage of your life where you realize that, especially being a gynecologist, she was really happy to share her knowledge with me and to support me throughout all the questions that I had. But I personally was very uncomfortable. I had no idea what exactly is happening. Why is it happening? Even when she told me before even I had any questions. But it's never enough, I think. Unless you don't go through that experience, you don't learn. When I had my first period, I realized that I have to keep on changing my pads. I have to use certain types of pads according to the flow, sizes, and how I have to dispose it, and how I need to change. I need to take care of my health and my sexual health. That's really, really important. I think the other thing that I learned during periods was having mood swings. And the very beautiful thing that I want to share with you is that whenever I have pads till now, periods, my bad, sorry. Whenever I have periods till now, my brother and my father supports me like anything. They treat me like queen. They prepare special food for me or something. If I'm going through a mood swing, my mom will go and tell my brother that you need to pardon her because she is on her periods. And then my brother starts to make me feel more special. He takes me out for a drive, and my father also. So they never ever make me feel uncomfortable. When they are not making me uncomfortable, why should I myself feel uncomfortable? But that's what we need to address right now. We don't only need women supporting us, we need all genders to support us, to talk more about menstruation. Even if they don't menstruate, we still need them because they know it's a problem. It's a problem that there are so many young women and girls out there who menstruate every month, but still they don't have access. They still feel uncomfortable to ask for pads. So through my own experience of learning and being enough privileged, I know there are not a lot of women out there who are privileged. So I want to share that with them. I want them to feel that if you don't have anyone, you have me. You have organizations like Period.org. You have people like Ranu, Nancy, and Srishti who are there to support you and educate you. So don't feel that you are the only one.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how amazing the world would be if everyone was so open, every family was so open talking about periods. And that's such a good point. Why I feel ashamed when people, of all genders feel comfortable talking about it. And that's what we need to work towards. So amazing points made. And I know Pallavi, you had another question in the chat as well. So I want to give you the opportunity. If you feel free to unmute and ask your question. Otherwise, I could also ask for you, but.
Thank you, Anusha. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, ma'am. So, okay. So for a long time, we have been talking about menstrual hygiene or busting the taboos regarding menstruation or creating awareness, as Ranu described, and as also Nancy described. So I just wanted to ask, we as in individuals, how can we do more, create more such efforts or come up with some unique strategies to, talk about menstrual hygiene in our communities, and as well as busting the taboos as well, because we all know, whoever is there in this meeting, we all understand that whatever there is knowledge as well regarding menstruation, and there is so much of taboos as well going on. So that's what I wanted to ask.
That's a very beautiful question, actually. Thank you, Pallavi. I have been asked that so many times, and my answer would stay the same. I think when Ranu said we need more helping hands, you be your own helping hand. We as an individuals, we teach ourselves, And then we teach ourselves more after meeting others. We learn, we grow, we share, we hold hands, and we together break stigmas. And that is what we are doing right now today, talking with each other. So what as individuals we can do, we have our own creative mindsets, we have uniqueness, we have so much fire in ourselves that we need to break this. You know, when we see women treating differently, because the first stage that they have been treating is about their menstruation, and that leads to treating them differently in every aspect, whether it's about they want to pursue anything in their life, whether they want to do anything, whether the way they want to style themselves. They are questions, because that starts from the time menstruation. They started to ask questions since menstruation. So the individual efforts we can do is to use the power of social media that we have right now to normalize that terminology, to know that if you have sisters, you have friends, you have young juniors, or anyone that you know in your society, you need to go and talk to them. You need to feel comfortable. You need to make them feel that it is okay. And then we have people like Ranu who are so innovative that when he realized that this is a problem, he started his own campaign. You can do that too. You have the whole power. The group just needs you and the other people. And it all starts with two people, and then it makes the whole universe uniting together for that. So this is the start that you can do. Use your social media power to talk more and more about that. And secondly, you can start it within your own home. Physically and mentally, you can prepare yourself to break stigmas, and this starts within yourself. If you don't ask for a pat, trust me, nobody else is going to ask for you. You need to stand for yourself, and then only you can stand for others. And that is what I think we as individuals can do.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was, I mean, that calls for a huge round of applause for this answer, I think.
Thank you so much, Pallavi.
Actually, Pallavi has joined us last time on period poverty walk.
Okay, wow.
Just made it amazing. She made lots of posters. She and Srishti made lots of posters, and it was a great day for us. We are celebrating Menstrual Hygiene Day on 28th of May, and we done a great period poverty walk in a open park. We talked to lots of family, lots of teenage. We also talked to boys, and it was really surprising. They respond good, and they really appreciate our movement. So it was great. Right, Pallavi? What do you want
Yes,
to say?
it was a rejuvenating experience, actually. Thank you for reminding that. Because it is like people are still reaching out to me, and they're like talking to me, okay, you're doing this, that is such a good thing, can I contribute? I mean, one of my college teachers yesterday, professors, she reached out to me and told me that she's so proud of me, because I'm associated with this kind of like,
proud of you.
so that was a proud moment for me as well.
Wow. This is the solution. You are the change maker, and you are bringing that change. That's all. Wow.
True.
Also, Srishti, can you speak, Srishti, about our movements? Srishti. I think says
last time
Looks like it's lagging a little bit. Trishti, can you hear us?
yes. In our period types, we usually do it for period poverty. That's why we distribute free pads. Also, period poverty is related to lack of knowledge that we provide, and also I think in Bihar, period poverty is a very big problem. Or even when I was in school, there was a lot of stigma. The male teachers didn't want to talk about it, and also when we had a session about periods, then the teachers sent us in a separate room to talk about it, and the boys, like they did not wanted to discuss it with boys. So I think we all have faced it in some way. That's why we all are together.
Thank you, Srishti. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's very important to consider boys as an important part of education, because if a boy is aware of menstruation and how to maintain health and hygiene, he can actually help his sister, mother, or even future wife or girlfriend. We actually in the park we have talked with some male. Why don't you give pet to your girlfriend? You can gift dark chocolate or anything. That will be great. And it was great conversation. But it must be a common thing. They have to consider it a important part of woman's life and health. So they shouldn't be feel shame to talk about a period or anything about that. Just all the stigmas. It should be a open talk and a common thing, like we are talking about fever or any other thing, or a common stuff about health. So period is just like that. Period is a common thing. It's happening for a right
Yes.
cause. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that your chapter members could also share, what brought them to this movement, and what inspired them to join. I'm sitting here feeling very inspired by everyone's personal stories and their bravery to advocate either on behalf of themselves or others in their community who have it far worse, than them. So I think that's amazing. And the point that you made, Harnaaz, about using social media is so important. Social media advocacy in today's world allows us to, influence others beyond, the people living in our communities, but all around the world. We're able to, see the amazing work that, Ranu's chapter in Bihar is doing, and the impact that you're making, and learning from that and learning how period stigma looks different in different parts of the world. And it's just super eye-opening, I know, for chapters in the United States, and other countries to learn about how the differences and how it looks like all around the world. So thank you so much for your advocacy on that in that realm as well, and to you too, Harnaaz, for your social media advocacy and speaking to so many people. But I wanted to so there's one more question in the chat, I believe from the Miss Universe team, about if somebody from Ranu or one of your chapter members wants to answer this. How much does the government work to help support your efforts? That is a question in the chat. So and then after that we can move on to the red marker challenge, because I know that's there.
Sure. I think the government definitely plays a very important part in such global issues. And according to me, I personally think that the government needs to be like how our Prime Minister has been working on this, and how I think how together we can more work on this is to provide free pads within schools. And that's how it should be accessible to areas where people like who are mostly affected, like Bihar, Rajasthan, Mumbai, and not only within India, but all around the world itself. Like the irony is that people in America are fighting for tampon tax, whereas the other in other countries, they're still fighting for getting one pad. So the question would be different, but the problem is same. And it all starts from school. It all starts from education. We need more educational policies that could help us to make sure that the major response or the major focus is always on menstruation, and the education is for everyone, as mentioned by Ranu, not only for girls. Of course, it's for boys too, because they feel embarrassed to talk about it. And I think that needs to be broken, and that needs to be broken when they are at the learning stage of everything that they want to know about. So accessible pads at schools, it starts within our families too, teaching our mothers, teaching them also, because they have the power to change the generations and generations henceforth. And the government definitely needs to have more strong policies, and I think that together. And the other example is also in the entertainment industry. We definitely know the bad man, Mr. Nachalam, how he has been so inspirational, and how government has supported his cause, because through that movie he not only take us to the story of his life, how he worked for the love of his wife and women around him, how he wants to make them feel comfortable and not using pads, because that was really something which was disturbing him. But he also educated so many young minds. And I saw when that movie was launched, there were so many schools, there were so many colleges which made sure that their whole group of girls and boys are going specially to movie theaters to watch it. And they enjoyed it. They enjoyed because entertainment industry also plays a very important part in not only enjoying and relaxing, but at the same time to touch so many hearts and break stigmas. And being an actress is what I believe that this is the vision that entertainment industry has, and they have impact so many individuals. And that's how government balancedly work with that. So this is what I think is the solution. And then we have people like us who are there to empower and educate at the same time.
I love that point you made about changing culture. That's how we're really going to fight period stigma and hence period poverty. And I know you met Padman recently, right? I think I saw this on your Instagram. I think that's amazing. And yeah, no, this is a really, really important work. So yeah, thank you so much for it. Next, I know I don't think we have any more questions in the chat right now. But I would love, Ranu, if you wanted to lead us in the red marker challenge. I have my red marker with me.
Can everyone please bring red marker or red gel pen, whatever you have.
And if you want to turn your cameras on, if not, that's
totally turn on your
totally optional. But
first remove the cap, obviously, of the marker. And you can draw on left or right hand, whatever you are comfortable with. So I'm right-hander, so it will be my left hand. And just start drawing a circle on the middle of your palm, like this. Can you see? I'm drawing right here and the middle. Try to draw a big circle, like whatever size you like. You can draw. Let me draw well. So I will show you.
This is being seen? Yeah, okay, great.
I literally have an expo marker.
Ranu, can you share a little bit more about what this is for and why? This is great.
Actually, it's a movement from UNICEF. Yeah, it's a movement from UNICEF India.
Right.
It shows the support of period movement, and yeah, right. It's so beautiful. So it shows you are in the support of menstrual equality, menstrual rights, and obviously it shows mirror to poverty and a stigma that must be break and that must be end, and we have to make period product accessible and period poverty and stigma end up by 2030, which is a mark by our menstrual hygiene day, and hopefully and definitely we will complete that. We all are trying so much hard, like you, me, and the Miss Universe. Obviously, you are our role model. So yeah, we will reach our goal definitely. So can everyone please show it on the camera? We will take a group picture. Okay. 1 minute.
Amir, can you take this
picture?
Who's taking the picture?
Wait.
Smile. Say, I don't know, red. Okay, and Red is not ready.
My marker is not working well.
We'll take a couple screenshots. We'll do one with the hands and then maybe some just, your smiles if you're interested. I know not everybody has their cameras on. You're welcome to, and if not, that's okay. We're going to capture if you want your name on it. It'll be there because we want to capture that if we can. So let's see.
Awesome. Ranu, let us know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready, almost.
No, I found the
I'm
highlighter,
ready.
so we're doing that.
Nikki is using eyeliner.
No, obviously not. So can we take a picture, right?
Yes. All right, ready? 1, 2, and 3. Hold on.
Okay, I took one. I'll
And
take
then let's, yeah, and then let's take
Take shots.
yeah, we'll take several. Let's see. And then if okay, and then let's do one that you all just want to smile if you'd like. Because we might
obviously.
want to, with your permission, if you all are okay, if your camera's on, we're assuming you're okay with us sharing on our social media. So if that's okay, you can have your hand or your bracelet. I know Miss Universe has a bracelet, whatever you all prefer. That'd be great. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Great. I think that would be all. Thank you all. And anything else? Any other requests from the Miss Universe team or Anusha or Ranu? Okay, I think we're good there. Anusha, hand it off to you.
Thank you so much, Miss Universe, Harnaaz, Sandhu, and Ranu Singh, and your entire chapter, or your leaders for joining us. This was such a fun call. I learned so much about period poverty in India and also around the world, strategies that we can use to combat this issue. And, you know, Harnaaz, you made a very good point about how we're all change makers here that can inspire change in our communities and around the world. So I am so inspired by you both and also everyone on this call. You know, I urge everyone to go follow on Instagram, you know, at Period Movement, had Period Bihar, at Miss Universe, Harnaaz Sandhu on Instagram, and to follow all the amazing work that Harnaaz and, you know, the Period Bihar chapter are doing. But yeah, any last words of inspiration you want to leave us with, Harnaaz?
Oh my God, I'm just so honored and thankful every time when I'm talking with you and sharing something and learning so much because I get to learn from each one of you. Especially Ranu, you have been doing a marvelous and incredible work. Keep on doing that. We are there to support you. And hopefully, I believe I get to meet you soon when I'm in India and support you in person. And keep that great work ahead, and chak de fateh. And thank you again for this great opportunity. I'm just so thankful.
You know, it's our pleasure you join us because it's just like a dream to talking to you, and we got too much energy just like we have started back in October. I feel like we are going to do lots of big stuff right now. I don't know. Just your support and encouragement. So thank you so much. Wait, I just forget to mention about this book that we are distributing. It's Menstrupedia comic, Hindi version, and it's mini version, which is available for free for organization like us. Menstrupedia send us more than 2,000 copies, and we have already distributed more than 1,000. Wow. So we are distributing in slum and government school. It's a great books, and the original book is around 300-400, which is available on Amazon and Menstrupedia, and that's a great book. It's available in several languages, Hindi, English, and all. And that's a great gift if to get anyone, teenage or any girl. Every girl must read this. And I'm so blessed that we got this lots of book to distribute, and it makes a great impact. Because when we conduct workshop, we just hand over this book to girls before starting, and we request them to just give a brief looks on the pages and what content there are. So it's kind of a comic, if you can see. And sorry, it's in Hindi, so maybe maybe Damaris can.
I know Hindi.
I know Hindi, don't worry.
But the content is too great. If you can see, everything is simply described. Everything.
बहुत अच्छे, very nice. बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो आप सच्ची में.
बहुत बढ़िया. हाँ, मैंने ये देखा था Shark Tank India पर ये Menstrupedia comic और हाँ ये book हाँ मैं बहुत inspired थी इसके साथ हाँ थोड़ा बहुत हिंदी आता है मुझे but but oh my gosh, it was so amazing talking to you both, and thank you so much for shedding light on this super important topic. And I am so, we're going to continue following your work and hopefully do more collaborations in the future. And thank you so much for everybody who joined from both the US and India. And yeah, to listen on this conversation. But yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Can we
Have
take
a great rest of your day. Thank you all.
Ronnie,
Can we take a group picture right here? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I will send the pictures after, but we have some.
Oh, I think
Please smile, everyone.
Oh, you want another one? Okay, great.
one more.
Yes.
I took one.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Awesome.
you, everyone. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. And I personally wanted to thank Miss Universe. दिल से शुक्रिया आपका. You just
आपका भी
inspired
बहुत बहुत
a lot.
शुक्रिया.
No.
You.
शुक्रिया हमारे साइड. बिहार से ढेर सारा प्यार.
Oh my
We
God.
would love to welcome you to Bihar. Please visit.
Definitely. Definitely. Hopefully, I'll see you soon.
Oh, it will be a dream. Definitely. It will be
Zarur.
amazing.
Perfect. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.